want to now put some adhesive on one of the ears. Let's do that back here on the back. And I'm putting a lot because this is going to be the only thing on my basket that's going to hold this. Now, when you put this together, you don't want to, I'm trying to fix this so you guys can see it. You don't want to put it straight like this because then you don't get the curvature and you don't see the pink of the ears. So you want to kind of crisscross them like this. I hope you can see that. And they can overlap a little bit off the edge there. And then you get a nice curvature on those ears. I hope you can see that. So that they sort of curve to the front and you see that pink. So that's how I did that. Now, if you don't feel like that's secure enough, and I'm using this mostly for show, not to really carry around by the ears, but if you wanted to, you could punch a couple of little holes there and tie a bow through it and make a girl bunny with bows on her ears. So that's another way you can secure that. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. Now I want to show you the nose. And if you noticed when you cut the nose out that it cut a little slit in it right here. Let me bend this back down so you can see that again. It put a little slit in it right here. That's so we can fold it over and give it a little bit of a cone shape. So on the back, right along one edge of that slit, I'm going to put a little of the ATG gun. And then however much you want to fold it around is fine. It's going to, the more you overlap, the pointier the nose is going to be. But there's your nose. And now we need to create our face. So the nose is the central part of the face. You kind of put him right in the middle, so I'm going to adhere him first. And before we do that, we need our whiskers. And I seem to have lost one of my pieces of whiskers. So let me cut another one. This is just a ball of twine that I found at Walmart. Let me see. It's fashion cord. Natural polished thin hemp, and it was really inexpensive. It was at Walmart in the craft section over like where the beads and leather cording and stuff are. So this is a great thing to have in your craft stash because you can do so many things with it. I do a lot of lacing and so forth. So cut your pieces about 8 inches long. I got that one a little bit too long and we're going to trim it anyway. And then just tie all 3 of them together just in a regular square knot and get it as close to the middle as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is going to be underneath the nose, but it's just kind of to hold them all together in the center. And then we're going to glue it, to the face. And I'm going to use Zip Dry. If you don't know about Zip Dry, this is the best stuff. It's a little more expensive than a lot of your glues, but it's made specifically for paper. It dries fast, it doesn't buckle your paper, and it's great stuff. You do have to store it without this dispenser top. You store it with this top. So once you're done, you're just going to let it sit, put the red top back on so it doesn't dry out up here, and all this runs back down into the bottle. And then after it's done that, you take this off and you put this top on it. So just a little tip with the Zip Dry. But it's great stuff. It is super strong, dries clear, and I just really love it. All right, let me pull this camera back up again so you can see. I think I'm going to have to teach my husband how to be a cameraman. But put a good glob of the Zip Dry there, and just set your knot right in there. And I'm going to let that sit there for a minute. And then I'm going to put the Zip Dry right around, right up to the edges of the nose. And if a little spills out, that's okay. Because like I said, it's going to dry nice and clear. And it starts out clear, as you can see. So, and pay attention to where you're putting the seam there. I like it on the bottom. It just kind of looks like that natural crease in the nose that animals have. So now you're going to have to actually sit here and hold this for a while. So I'm going to cut away and come back after that has set. But it will set quickly. Like I said, the Zip Dry is very quick. So I will be right back in about, 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I think my glue is pretty dry. I'm going to move on to the rest of the face now. And the first thing I'm going to put on is the eyes, which is pretty much the rest of the face except for the teeth. But put on the black part that you cut out of cardstock first and get them positioned where you want. And work quickly, because if you want to reposition the first one, you're going to have to work quickly because, like I said, this zip dries really fast in a zip. But there is, that looks pretty good. I like that placement. So now I'm going to come down and I'm just going to put a couple little dots here, little globs for the teeth. And this is where I typically get out my little tweezers for these little pieces. You'll notice the teeth have a long side and a short side. So you might want to position those or place them on here so that they're opposites of each other. I think you'll see what I mean when you cut them out. It may not be real obvious here on the video. Okay, but there's his face, looking cute. The last thing left to do is to put the googly eyes on. You can play around with the placement of the googly eyes. I like them sort of towards the bottom of that black part instead of dead center. But again, you can play around with it and see what you like. But there you have it, and that zip dry will dry very quickly. But there is the rabbit, and let me pull back and show you the whole effect. Whoops! He hopped right out of my hands. But there's the whole effect. There is the rabbit, and I really like this paper. He turned out cute. So hope you enjoy it. If you make one, please send me photos. You know how I love to see your interpretation of my projects. Thanks, and have fun making them. Bye-bye.